Cool, I'm live. I have some stars going on behind me. Oh, and on me a little bit. Well, it's all right. The galaxies within all of us. The cosmos, right? Your astrology chart, literally, it was like some cosmos on me. So that's kind of funny. Hi, I'm Aldyn, the Twin Flame Psychic. And if you're catching this live, awesome. That's great. Don't know what time it is for you, but it's later here in California. So as you can see, I thought, the lighting's good, but it is a little bit dark behind me. But that is nice for the stars that I just got. I'm still like getting used to this setup. So probably, might need to adjust it a little bit. But anyways, yeah, I wanted to do a reading for you for Virgo season. I know that we're already in Virgo season a little bit. And so, happy birthday to you if you've already had your birthday or you have it coming up. I better just leave this. It was better like before. Now it's like all over the place. So, yeah, and also pull some cards for both the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. But yeah, focused on Virgo season, whether you're a Virgo or not. Well, we all have Virgo in our charts somewhere. And, astrology can help you with how you experience the world and help you to pinpoint places where you could reprogram your mind. I prefer the mirror exercise for that, and there are links below where you can check that really amazing spiritual tool out if you haven't before. Super duper potent, yet simple. So, yeah, without further ado, I think, let's start with some cards, okay? So I have some Angel Tarot cards here. Let's start with those. Cool, there we go. And, yeah, that's the card deck, this month, and, well, not just this month, Virgo season, right? So August to September 22nd or so is, really, there's a strong need to really like claim your self-respect, as there always is, but you don't want to like parts of you that are feeling kind of like left out or unheard or kind of just like under, like not quite feeling valued is a good way of putting it. Okay. You really want to go to those places and spend some extra time giving yourself, some TLC, some love, loving attention. That's what it boils down to first and foremost. What am I saying? Foremost? I don't know. Yeah. So, it can be any little feeling just as tiny as a mouse, right? Or a big giant mountain. But if there's something about you that's not feeling valued, it might lead you to something really important that's blocking some of your abundance or something between you and your twin flame. So if you want to be with your twin flame, in harmonious union and beyond, then you really want to harmonize, right? Like you have to harmonize your whole consciousness. And when I say beyond, is really, I just mean like perfect union, like you've healed all your upsets completely, but that's not apart from harmony, right? That I know of. So, anyways, okay, so I hope maybe you could hear me shuffling. I'm shuffling the cards down here. One of these days I'll have like a little setup where, you could see me shuffling and stuff, but not at the moment. So let's pull this first card, all right, for the Divine Masculine, just for the whole Virgo season. Let's see like what themes are coming up for the Divine Masculine. We have 7 of Fire, okay? And it's interesting because it's a Divine Feminine looking figure. And it says, defend your beliefs and decisions, stand your ground, choose your battles wisely. Cool. And there's a little ring light. Well, it's like a halo for her. That's funny. Yeah, so 7 is a holy number, right? Like it's definitely a holy number. I'm going to leave the card up while I talk about it. And It's inviting the divine masculine to not be a wussy. That's not like a derogatory term, is it? I don't, just like don't be a wuss about like even internally, like with the divine feminine. If she's giving you smack, then like yeah, I mean, look at yourself and all of that, but don't be afraid to defend how you truly feel without holding on and like resisting going deeper and healing. But you're allowed to feel your feelings. You're allowed to have your experience. And it's really important for the divine masculine to embrace that at this time. And that can really lead to deep healing in your union. And so, what you can do as the divine feminine is recognize this, but also again, you can do the same thing. This card isn't exclusively for the divine masculine, right? But like you might be kind of following in that place where the divine masculine is leading at this time of standing up for yourself. And so you're always healing in one. But let's go deeper here with the divine feminine's card and see what this is. Okay, maybe how am I going to do? I like holding with this hand, so we'll just go hold this hand for now. Then I'll hold them both up. This is 10 of Earth. Okay, so this is kind of more Virgo-esque, if you will. A very happy family life, financial security, finding the magic in the little things in life. I mean, when I think of financial security, I also think of like Taurus, maybe Capricorn, but Capricorn was like willing to take kind of weird risks for the long haul sometimes. But anyways, not that you're not willing to take a risk if you're like a Taurus or something, but just like characteristics of the signs, right? And the different earth signs. This says a very happy family life. Okay. So this is speaking to harmony. This is speaking, even if you're like, well, I'm not that financially secure right now, or I would like to be more, even though I am doing pretty well, or whatever it is. Well, there's something here that is falling into place. And I think that it really helps us go deeper with both cards, the divine masculine and the divine feminine's card, because there is some spiritual work that the divine masculine's doing at this time, and the divine feminine's able to hold that down for her divine masculine with her foundation, which is really both of yours, foundation and truth. But yeah, it's kind of, it's allowing the divine masculine to raise the vibration for both of your consciousnesses, your one consciousness. Because I was going to say like raise the vibe of your union, but in truth, like yeah, that there is that, but in truth, like your union is already raised, like you're just meeting that vibration in your like in your outer reality, in your experience. I mean, in your inner reality too, because if you're not like able to really access it there, well, that is what how your outer reality manifests, right? And that being said, like, just because you aren't experiencing everything being all sugary, wonderful, amazing, sugary, I don't know. Like I don't even maybe you want like some spices in your reality too, and all that, all the good stuff. Um, and proteins, very important for your foundation. I don't know, metaphorically, really, in truth, I would say. But yeah, I mean, it's, Virgo season, Earth rooting down. These things are important, and your physical reality is important for that. And that is a part of the twin flame journey, is recognizing that as you're ascending, you're also, though, not leaving the physical in any way. You're actually fortifying your foundation, but that's not your ultimate focus. Your ultimate focus is beyond the physical. It's beyond your feelings, beyond your emotions. It's your being. But how do you get there? Well, you get there oftentimes through your feelings and through your emotions. You can't shortcut that important step. But sometimes you do find yourself just in the being place. And when you are there, you don't need to hold on to it, but you also don't need to push it away. You can just, fully relax into it, and that will help you expand in those places. And then sure enough, yeah, the next upset will probably come along, but you will have that much more fortification, that much more foundation laid for you to be able to even more maturely, even more easily handle the next upset, unless you make a wacky choice to, just kind of believe the upset and go crazy mode. And that's okay if you do. You can always come back to peace, but just remember you don't have to do that. I think sometimes we all need those reminders, and it's nice to have that reminder. So, yeah, and let's look up close at this card, because this card is both cards are, have divine feminines, but this card's very feminine looking for the divine feminine. And I think it speaks to some, maybe having more bonds with other divine feminines, or even if you don't, that's okay too. But just, maybe deepening your bond with the divine mother, um, healing your relationship within, with maybe your biological mother if needed. And that doesn't mean healing it with your, like, by talking necessarily to the person per se. It just depends on like that relationship and where it's at. It's just healing within any upsets you have. Because unconditional love looks a lot of different ways on the outside. You know, it doesn't necessarily look like even talking to a person, or it could look like talking to a person every single day. But yeah, there's something here about nurturing, and nurturing is really, again, like helping to uplift the divine masculine, and what he's doing. And yeah, choose your battles wisely. Well, this card for the divine masculine, he's getting better. You are getting better for the divine masculine watching this at just, letting go of the BS, the stuff that's not really worth, so to speak, picking a fight. I mean, no fight is worth, you don't need to fight. But of course, there are things that come up that you do need to work through. And then there's things that come up that it's like, actually, yeah, I don't actually care about this, or, oh, I don't really need this person in my life. And as you defend your beliefs, things get revealed to you, people get revealed to you, and it becomes easier to fight the good fight, which is a peaceful fight in truth. However that looks on the outside, hopefully it looks peaceful on the outside. Well, gosh, I feel like there was something I was going to say, but that's all right. Let's move on to another card. Let's look at the Union as one. Let's see if this card really, gives us some answers there, or if we need to pull some more for this particular subject. So this is for the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And just to recap here, we had the 7 of fire for the divine masculine, and, more masculine energy, Mars, fire, right? And 10 of earth for the divine feminine. So I liked how these cards turned out for the DM and the DF, although sometimes we get different representations, and that's all good because we get to go deeper with whatever subject comes up from the divine. So this is a really can you feel people's spirit, or aurora? Ooh, I like how you said aurora instead of aura. That's cool. Makes me think of Princess Aurora. And anyways, that's off topic, I guess, but I just saw a funny meme about Princess Aurora, or with her in it, and it said something like, it's beginning to look a lot like F this, or something like that, like, leveling up when you can see a pattern and move past it. So I don't know if that, speaks to you per se, but that's just something that your question made me think of, is actually being able to recognize patterns, and, as a, like, kind of a God's gift, like, you're able to move away from that, to move that energy into the divine much more efficiently, because you've raised your vibration enough to see the patterns that are below where you're really at. So that's cool. Yeah. So, I mean, if you have a particular question, if it applies to like everyone, I might answer it. You want to start boxing? All right. Yeah. Well, just like, if it's from a peaceful place, and you have that desire, that can be like a very, nice skill, a really good like activity to do. Like, I've done some martial arts before, and I did enjoy it. I personally didn't enjoy the sparring part, but I know a lot of people do, and that's all good either way, I think. Um, So the card for union is number 14, and it's the Tempest, right, in the tarot? But it's Archangel Zadkiel in this deck, and it's the need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. Wait for perfect timing. Just like little baby things there. Anyways, yeah, so, this card. Oh, well, thank you. That's so nice. No, you're not interrupting. I have the chat on, so, as long as you're uh, being appropriate and on topic, you're all good. So I appreciate the chat. So, yeah, the card for your union for Virgo season is really about balance, okay? And it's about balancing this earth and this fire energy particularly. Yes, we have the other elements too, and we don't need to leave them out, but we're really focused right now on the divine feminine and this kind of really very, what's the word? Kind of domestic, nurturing. It's domestic, but it's also adventurous. Like, she's outside, they are outside. There's more than one she, and maybe a little boy too, actually. Or I don't know, fairies. I'm not sure, but they're kids. And yeah, so whoa, there's some stars all around. uh yeah, they're outside, but they're like, it feels like they're kind of in a sanctuary, and so that's really what the divine feminine's doing. That's going to help you balance, and it might be something that you have some resistance to, or maybe it comes easier to you, um because sometimes the things that are going to move us forward is like the most simple, obvious, feel good thing, but it's the thing you're kind of resisting because there's like 10 million other things on your to-do list. It seems like you need to do, like however is telling you need to do this, you need to do that to like make something happen. Um, so just make sure you're going within, finding that quiet place and really being with the divine there, and feeling into, well, what's really like the thing that I'm being asked to do right now? Is it maybe to fortify yourself with, like taking extra time to cook or clean? And because, Virgo's very much about the body and about health, about like good hygiene, oftentimes, right? Like the sign, organizing. This could also speak to organizing your feelings. I mean, the divine feminine, we think of earth, divine feminine, think of emotions, feelings, rooting down. And so when you kind of combine all these things together, you get like an organized rooting down feeling kind of situation going on for the divine feminine. And again, this can also apply to the divine masculine. It doesn't have to just be the divine feminine. And then the divine masculine is focused on, the drive that Virgo has to really like please and succeed. And so, also learning how, going deeper with not being a perfectionist. It says choose your battles wisely. So as you're able to like kind of, I want to say like go faster, like be more speedy, but not in a way that feels like necessarily pressure. But yeah, you're just learning how to be more efficient. And I think that there's something about divine masculine energy that can really like enjoy that at this time, especially like kind of this momentum they're working on building. And between those two things, there's a great balance, right? And so both are working together. It doesn't mean that one's like, flying all over the place and one's ground like anchored in, but it could look different ways, and it could look like that. And so just let how it looks be okay, because sometimes things look one way one minute, like, oh, I'm being guided to do this. Why the hell am I being guided to do this? And then like you finally just release resistance, or maybe you release resistance right away. Good for you if you can do that. Then you're taken into the thing, and perhaps something is revealed. It's like, oh, this is why, and now I have the next 10 steps in front of me because I was willing to just take this one step. And so it always feels good when that happens, right? So like when you can come from a balanced place and just, clear enough blocks to just feel into which way to move forward and be given the obvious ways to do that for yourself, like from just your inner guidance, but that can come through other people. That can just be very obvious, like this bill is due, I should probably pay it, kind of very like basic obvious things, or this is dirty and I feel like cleaning it. Well, there's like a matched like kind of desire with my outer environment and in my heart. Like my environment looks like being clean would like be, it would be pleasing to the environment, but it would ultimately be pleasing to me too. So there's like this, beautiful harmony that happens when those things click into place. And when you do that from a balanced place, it feels good. Like if you've ever tried to force yourself to clean or something, that can be rough. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but there's a match there and everything can fall into place, then there's a more balanced energy to be able to sustain whatever the tasks of the day are. So let's just pull another card and see what this is about. 8 of Fire. 8 of Fire. Events moving at a fast pace, delays are over, many things happening at once. This is interesting because, there's a lot of planets retrograde. And towards the end of Virgo season, or maybe just after, I think maybe even after, but Mercury's going retrograde in September, towards the end of September. I don't have the exact date in front of me, but, there's the whole retrograde shadow. Okay, I think Uranus just went retrograde, I'm pretty sure. So I think that this is interesting because what it tells me is that things are happening at a fast pace within you. Like you're able to process your feelings, move through upsets. Again, check out the mirror exercise. I'm pointing down. I think the links are below, right? Like any other video once this is up. And if you're watching live, I think they're still below. So that's an extremely valuable spiritual tool to have. It's taught by Jeff and Shalia, and that's just their basic spiritual tool that they teach. There's a ton more. So if you're looking for a way into your twin flame journey, like even if you're like saying you're on it, like how the heck is this going to work out for me? Well, the answer is here for you. So don't worry. Like it's not some weird pie in the sky thing. And again, you really do. I know I say this all the time, but you really do take it like one step at a time, and that's how things can move. Like delays are over when you just choose to move forward. You don't need to move forward like, run and fall on your face, move forward. You can just go. And things can move quickly. You don't necessarily need to be the one pulling all the strings, right? That's for God to do ultimately. So another card. Ooh, the Magician. This feels like a good one to probably wrap up this reading on. So yeah, I love this card. It looks like definitely, wizardy angel energy here. So yeah, Archangel Raziel, you are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. I think it's like what you desire, and life is magical. The Magician, life is magical. So this is really beautiful. I mean, and all of these cards are really like a part of like they all kind of get told through this last card, where it's like you are learning what it takes to manifest your personal heaven on earth and to clear the separation within your consciousness at an accelerated rate, so that you can, yes, harmonize your twin flame union, but also that's like one with all the other dreams and desires in your heart. So you don't have to bargain and like, well, I think my twin flame wouldn't want to have the same kind of lifestyle I want to have. That's not true. So it's just working through that. Or maybe the person you believe your twin flame isn't that actual person. Maybe they are. I'm not saying, like, I'm not trying to tell you one way or another from this reading. And ultimately, anyway, that does get revealed to you in your heart as you go deeper with clearing those blocks. But same thing with other parts of your life. Have you ever thought you wanted to do something? Maybe you actually are that person who like always thought you wanted to do this very particular thing. You pursued it, you do it, that's all you want to do. And that's awesome. That's amazing. A lot of people experience it, wanting to be different things, or maybe having an initial dream to be something and like doing something else, coming back to that, a lot of different things. But there's a revealing process in your heart. And also there is the piece where sometimes, with or without realizing it, you might be making choices that are taking you away from your desire because um, of ego, because like you think you're supposed to do something else because of fear. But that's okay. You can always make a new choice, and you can just have compassion for yourself. We live in a world where this kind of patterning is very commonplace, sometimes referred to as the matrix. So you can unplug from the matrix. You don't have to do that. You don't have to play that game. You can play the divine game, and that doesn't take you away from being with everyone else. That doesn't take you off the planet. You don't have to go live at Mars right now to do that, although yeah, we should watch our planet. We should, of course, like steward the planet, but that starts from within. And because our own thoughts and feelings really do create our reality, and so if we're not at peace within, or we're having nihilistic inner turmoil, then that's where the problem really needs to be resolved first and foremost. And this is where you being the magician comes in. You don't need to literally be the one to move the mountain, but you clearing a block in your heart, like that's a miracle, and that's powerful, and that can actually help you attract really amazing miracles that people are like, whoa, so you can impress other people without even trying. I mean, that's hopefully not your end goal. I'm just being a little silly, but sometimes that is kind of fun, right? So, but ultimately, yeah, it's really about just learning how to be at peace. And peace is powerful. Peace can be very joyful. I mean, there's all of that going on in this card, right? And manifesting your dreams. And so surrendering what you think your dream should be, but also continuing to move towards how you feel about these dreams, and allowing them to transform as they will, remain how they will. All of that is all perfect. It all falls perfectly into place if you just keep loving yourself in all those places. So this is very nice reading. Thanks for those who joined. Thanks for the few comments I got. That was fun. And I will catch you later. So yeah, if you haven't yet and you would like to subscribe to my channel, please do. And of course, if you would like to like this video, then that's awesome, because everyone likes likes. So with that being said, enjoy Virgo season and enjoy your twin flame journey. And I will, see you next time. Bye.